Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, I give you BVO.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know, shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know, every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know, I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show, this is BVO.
On behalf of BVO Sports TV, we would like to thank our sponsor, Raycon, makers of the Raycon Everyday Earbuds, the perfect model for premium sound with active noise cancellation to block out distractions and transparency mode to keep you aware of your surroundings. They are the ideal for your everyday needs. Just visit RayconGlobal.com. That's RayconGlobal.com and elevate your listening experience.
Yo, what's up, what's up, what's up? It's your boy, BVO Sports TV. We in the house. We back. We back like we never left. Shout out to my man, Uncle Cash. Shout out to Dr. Good Sis, man. Convoys with Cam. I really appreciate you, the Good Sis, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to her. Definitely subscribe to my Uncle Cash, man. Doing some great stuff. Was talking about the WBA. Talking about all the great fighters. Uncle Cash, I dropped my top 10 greatest fighters of all time list. I don't know if you got a chance to check it out. Shout out to my brother Mike Rim. Yes, it's him. Mike Rim is in the house, always showing love and support. We about to cook, y'all. We about to have some fun because we got one of the biggest fights in boxing. We got Teofimo Lopez about to fight the #1 guy in boxing, Shakur Stevenson. One of the biggest, blackest, scariest guys in boxing. We about to go get him. I'm excited about it. God did it again. I just can't wait to see the fight. It's one of them fights. Hold on, y'all. My bad to get my mic together. The open panel though, we let people in. If you got sense, you can come through and talk to your boy BVO Sports TV. But we got a man. I'm telling you, man, Tio is about to fight the best fighter in the world, Shakur Stevenson, one of the best fighters we've seen in the last 25 years. And I got to give him his credit because most dudes are scared of Shakur, man. You know, like that old Biggie song say, brothers talking it but ain't living it. And I'm going to say this. Hey, when we beat him, please don't y'all come up with that trash talking about Shakur ain't fought nobody, blah, blah, blah. We about to go in there and punish him. We're going to punish this dude. And I want to make sure everybody that's hating, saying Tio can't do this, he can't do that. Hey, we're going to see. We're going to see what he does, man, because unlike a lot of your favorite fighters, they're not fighting nobody. I mean, I take that back. You got Tank Davis fighting for his life. I know the U.S. Marshals trying to find him, but
wow, that's crazy.
As far as boxing, it is what it is. But go ahead, give us some game real quick, man, about Tio fighting the best fighter in the world, Shakur Stevenson.
I mean, it was a fight that I didn't ask for, but I'm happy about it though. It's a good fight. That don't mean it was a good fight because us fans, most of us, we wasn't in demand. We wasn't saying Shakur Tio. We wasn't really saying that too much, but now that the fight is happening, it's up. You know what I mean? Shakur gonna have to prove himself against a solid dude. Tio can shock the world. It's a lot of things that can happen in that fight. But I think Tio, he probably would get more credit than beating Shakur than Shakur will get beating Tio.
I mean, I would just say this though, Prize. To fight a monster like him, it's crazy. He said, BVO the board, do you think Shakur can pull up the upset? No, I don't think he can. I don't think he got enough heart to beat a guy like Tio. I mean, Tio was like it's like he's to me, he's a lot like Hector Camacho. And the reason I say Hector Camacho because it seems like if you guys remember the great Hector Camacho, God rest his soul, he always seemed to meet the competition. I know my man Price is a little bit younger. You familiar with Hector Camacho?
Of course, I grew up
And,
watching him.
and you know how Hector would always meet you at that next level. So that's my thing with this fight. I think Tio has shown enough times in boxing that he's ready to go to another level if need be. And I'm not taking nothing away from Shakur. Shakur is the best fighter in the world. I just think for me, when it comes to Shakur, we got to give him his props. But Teofimo has shown you that he's a monster, bro. He's a monster.
Yeah, it makes for interesting and good fight, you know. So
And,
you got Tio, who has fought down to his competition, but it seemed like when the competition stepped up, he stepped up too. I can't
yeah,
deny that. Even though I don't like the boy, I don't really dislike him, but I don't really care enough.
yeah. Well, that's a different thing. I think what you're saying is totally understandable. At the end of the day, like I said before, Tio has said some things that a lot of people don't like. I get it. But my whole thought is this. If I'm being honest, BVO has said some things that he probably shouldn't have said. Just being honest. You know what I'm saying? I've said some things I probably shouldn't have said. Prior to said some stuff he shouldn't have said.
Of
And
course,
for me, I think you can't always judge somebody off their worst moment. You can take that how you want. You can call me whatever names you want, but come on, bro. We got dudes that defend a guy that's beating up women, bro. So I ain't trying to hear nothing. I've actually heard guys say, well, let justice be served. Get out of here. That's that cornball stuff where you don't even have guys that's willing to stand up and say this is wrong. At least
yeah.
I can say when we seen Tia, and Prize was there with me. It's not like I'm joking.
We saw.
Tia was cool. He shook our hands when we left the pizza shop. He was cool.
Yeah, he
So
was.
I'm not gonna sit here and play this fantasy game as if I'm somehow super offended that Tio says. Man, I done heard people say worse, man.
He looked at mad nervous in the piece of shot one, because BVO big as hell. So
I mean,
uh,
even if you want to say that, I just thought it was cool. There's not many times in life you get to see somebody that you really admire from afar. And for me, I admire what I see what Tio does in the ring. It's very similar to somebody who admires Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd Mayweather, Muhammad Ali. When you see great fighters, man, you're just gonna be happy about it. But I just don't think Shakur can pull off the upset. I just don't see it. But anything is possible when you're fighting Bobby Fischer. Because one thing about Tio, about Shakur, I will say is this: the brother's special. Silver
yeah, for sure.
medalist, former Ring Magazine champion. I can go on and on and on about all the stuff I've seen from Shakur that impresses me. But what you think about everything, Free? What you think about Shakur and Tio going at it, man? Tio said he's gonna punish him.
It's a good fight. Like Pryor said, it wasn't a fight that people were calling for because Tio and Shakur have never been in the same division. So this
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a fight that people were calling for. But it's a good fight. It's definitely a fight that the fans are going to come out to see. Or well, they might pay for the pay per view. I don't know if they're
Mm-hmm.
going to come out and pay those high prices for those tickets, but they're gonna watch it.
I
Um,
looked the other day, Free, and they not that as bad as they was in the beginning.
Yeah, but it's too late now because
yeah, I'm about to
I
say,
gotta get a
Yeah,
flight. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's
yeah,
too
That's
late
what.
now, baby.
That's where you would get jammed up at with the flights.
Yeah, I mean,
but but
yeah.
it's a good fight. It's a fight that will get the boxing fans back appreciating boxing again. Because a lot of people said boxing is boring. They're not making fights that the fans want to see and things like that. So this is a
Mhm.
fight to get the boxing fans back happy again. They just gotta build off of it. Now they can't stop with just making one fight that the fans are happy about and then go back to doing what they've been doing the rest of the year. They gotta continue building on it. That's the problem with a lot of these boxing matches that give you one fight and then they don't build on it. And it doesn't have to be a big fight. It just has to be a competitive fight. We don't want to see these star fighters or these upcoming stars in a bunch of showcase fights. Every once in a while, we know we want to get a showcase fight because it's just a stay busy fight to get ready for another fight. But we don't want to see 11 months of showcase fights and we get 1 month of good fights. So they just got to build on it.
Yeah, you know, the thing I'll say is this, man. If you look at guys who master boxing, you can say Floyd Mayweather, you can say Shakur, you can say Devin. The thing I will say is this: to be the undefeated technician, it just kind of will show you how special Tio really is, because I think you only know how good somebody is when they fight other good guys.
Yeah. I want to see Tio's skills put to the test. I definitely do.
I mean, I would agree with you, but we can't count the eggs before they hatch because he ain't beat an undefeated technician yet. So we gotta wait to see that happen. So I'm not gonna say Tio going in there and beating Shakur because it's a 50-50 fight. I favor Shakur because of Tio's lack of discipline, self-discipline. Tio he gets ahead of himself at times, and so I got to see how Tio responds in this fight when he can't hit Shakur as easy as he was able to hit other opponents. Even when he was in there with a guy like Loma, he was able to hit Loma. He's not going to have that success that he had with Loma. He's not going to have that with Shakur. Shakur's a more defensive fighter than Loma. So I want to see how he adjusts to Shakur's defense.
I'll just say this, Free. And one thing I always like about my man Puerto Rican Free pretty gives some thoughtful answers on this, but I think the only thing I would say, and I could be wrong, you could correct me if I'm wrong. I think the only thing you're missing, what I'm saying on this one, Free, is that we've seen this kid rise to the occasion, and I kind of compared it to Hector Camacho. And that's the thing that I feel like with Tio. It's like the better the competition, the better he fights. And I think, unfortunately, he fights down to his competition. When you fight Steve Claggett, you fighting, Jermaine Taylor's. But see, what's a big fight to
Jermaine Ortiz?
I don't even know the brother's name. Jermaine Ortiz. When you fight these nobodies, it's kind of hard for people to get it. It's the same thing that happened to Mr. Gary Russell. Mr. Gary Russell couldn't get MJ. He couldn't get this guy. He couldn't get that guy. So he actually made his career about fighting mandatories. That's not what he wanted, but he wanted to challenge himself. And what I'm saying is, you got Tio with that from that same ilk of when he goes in there with the best, he shows his tail off. And I think I'm gonna tell you this: if he beats Shakur, there should be a strong case for him to be top 2, top 3 pound for pound. Shakur's that good. Shakur's that good.
And I'm glad you said what you said, because that separates the great fighter from the good fighter. Because a great fighter is always going to be on his A game. If you end up with somebody that's not on your level, you're going to show everybody, this guy's not on my level. I'm gonna make easy work with him. When you fight down to the competition, that leaves yourself to get exposed or get beat like a Cambosis. Because I believe Tio is more talented than Cambosis. I believe Tio's a better fighter than Cambosis. But because he fought down to his competition, he got beat. And that separates the great fighter from the good fighter. That's why I say I believe Tio's mental is weaker than Shakur's mental. I think Shakur is more likely to stay on his game plan than Tio is. If things ain't going right the way Tio thought it should go, he would deviate off of that game plan. Shakur, he's just going to sit there and say, okay, well, I'm just going to stay defensive and I'm going to wait for the shot to come open and I'm going to hit you. If it's going to be a boring fight, so be it. But I'm going to make sure I go home with this W.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. And I ask you this, Prize. When you see Tio right now, I know you're not like a super fan of like modern boxing, but when you see a guy like Tio, and Free says a negative thing, but see, I don't get it because I hear people praise Salvador Sanchez for always stepping it up when he fought the best of the best. when he fought Aguayo, he stepped it up. I mean, I don't get this new narrative that people try to say, oh, if he don't just naturally fight at the top of his skills, he's not good. What would you say to that, Price?
Um, I wouldn't say that he's not good, but I mean, like I said, everybody's subject to have a off night. You know, whether you want to say he fight down to his competition or not, he that it could be an off night. You know, but like what Free said, if you have an off night against somebody like Shakur, you're gonna be in for a long night. You know what I mean? But I
Now,
mean,
But this is a
yo,
guy with hold on. This is a guy with paper mache hands.
it
So
don't matter.
I think. Let me ask you this. So what happens if he break his hand? What
Then
if he
he's in
breaks his
trouble.
hand?
You making up scenarios like,
No, that's a very possible. I've seen him shake his hand when he fought Josh Pavley. The
all right, if he
dude's
hurt his
hands are
hand,
toast. They're
all right,
toast.
if he hurts his hand, that's on him. Tio, and if Tio don't take advantage of it, then he's a fool. But
I'm
no,
gonna say
now
this. Go
what
ahead.
you said about Sanchez, you said he stepped his game up, but we never seen him step his game down. He stepped his game up when he got in with better competition. I'm talking about Tio's fighting down to his competition when the competition is not great.
Mhm.
He's lackluster in those fights. He shouldn't have went the distance with a Steve Claggett, a guy who has 7 losses and been knocked out multiple times. He shouldn't have went to the distance. He's a better fighter than Steve Claggett, in my opinion. I don't
yeah,
think he should have went to the distance. He should have. I don't think he should have lost to Cambodia. So that's what I'm talking about. And I didn't say he was a bad fighter. I said that separates the good fighters from the great fighters. Great fighters are always on their game plan. Even if it's a bad night, they still going to be better than their opponent. Like Floyd Mayweather, even on a bad night, he was still better than his opponent.
he trashed Baltimore, and that wasn't a good
Well,
night
what
for
happened
Floyd.
when Castillo was whooping his ass? See. This is the thing with Free. Free's
When
a Free is a really intelligent guy. He's a Puerto Rican, but he's a very intelligent guy. And what Free try to do is what we call play country dumb. He knows what I'm saying, but you see how he use because he knows more words than me. How he use word salads to kind of go past what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this: we seen some of the best fighters when they get in with the right competition, they go to another level. You can say that about him fighting Steve Claggett that way, but that's like saying Sugar Shane Mosley fought he fought down to Vernon Forrester's level. Is
Forrest
that the
already
case?
had beat him a bunch of times in the amateur, Forrest had his
But
number.
but I'm just saying, if you talk about what
But
we seen in the pros, especially what we
it,
seen at lightweight, you would say that
it
he
still
fought
doesn't.
down to Vernon
It
Forrester's
doesn't.
level.
It doesn't change what I said. It still remains what I say. That separates the good fighters from the great fighters. I don't care who the fighter is. It can be daggone Sugar
Insane,
Ray
my guy.
Leonard. It can be Sugar Ray Leonard. It can be Roy Jones. It can be Floyd Mayweather. It can be daggone Antonio Tarver. It can be Mike Tyson. It doesn't separate what I said. It doesn't matter who the fighter is. This applies to every fighter. And this is why I say you got to be consistent. It applies to every fighter. That's what separates the great fighters from the good fighters. The ones that always come on A game is a great fighter. The ones that deviate, sometimes they on the A game, sometimes they on the B game. Those are good fighters because they have potential to be great. They just don't have the discipline to be great.
And you know what? On that note, I would say I agree a little bit. But this is the thing with this fight. I don't think you guys understand. This is the biggest fight of Teofimo's life. And I'm gonna tell you why I say that. This is a crossroads fight. You say, why you say that, BBO? Because you gotta think about it. Tio has really put together some really bad performances at 140. And I'm just being totally honest. And you guys know I support Tio. What we seen with Steve Claggett was not good. What we seen with Jermaine Ortiz was not good because Jermaine Ortiz was spinning Tio around. He just didn't throw. So that's why he didn't win the fight. But if he would have been at least thrown more than he did, because to me, Jermaine Ortiz is a poor man's Devin Haney. If you notice, anybody getting ready for Devin Haney, they fight Jermaine Ortiz. And I think that Tio did not do a good job in that fight. I thought Tio did a piss poor job in the Sandor Martin fight. I think what you really, if you're really honest, the only fight Tio looked exceptional in was when he fought Josh Taylor, the best fighter in 140. When he fought the best guy at the division, no matter what you want to say about it, been on the ring, whatever the case may be, when he got in there with that guy, that's the one time we seen him look spectacular. But if I'm being honest, at 140, he's been very unspectacular. If you go through all the fights at 140, they're bores. You had the fight where he said, "Do I still got it?" It's just really hasn't been good. But for that one night, we seen it, and it was Taylor versus Teal in the ballroom. We seen him doing stuff, styling, bro. Did the George Foreman face cover, was punching and missing, and probably could have stopped Josh Taylor if he would have actually tried to, and becoming a two-time Ring Magazine champion. I think this is a crossroads fight, and he has to get it. He has to get this one. You know what I mean? For you, but like it's almost like if you play a football game, we gotta have this game. We gotta have this fight. There's no excuses. You cannot let this black Puerto Rican nigga come in here and take what we work for. You can't do it. You gotta break his face. You gotta hurt him. You gotta punch him in the hips. You gotta. I think Tio should really go in there like his life's on the line. And for some people, it ain't registered. It ain't registering, man. This dude, this fight is that important, Free, because he needs this one, man. If he lose this fight with Shakur, it's gonna say a lot of bad for Tio. He gotta get this fight. You can't let this black nigga win this fight. Go ahead.
All I'm
That's
gonna say
crazy.
is, all I'm gonna say to Prize is this nigga BVO been holding out because I didn't know BVO was down in Florida working with Tio. He said, "Man, this is so hard. What we work for." This nigga said, "What we work for." I
You
didn't know
That's
are
he
boy.
crazy.
You are boy.
he holding out on
Yeah,
Prize. I didn't
that's
even know.
crazy.
Oh no, that boy Free sick, man. You gotta watch Free. You know, Free type of dude to give Michael X CPR on gunshot wounds. You gotta watch him, man. That's
Hey,
a wild
I
dude,
just
man.
go based, I just go based on what you say. I'm a very literal person.
We
Whatever
know how
you
you
say,
get
I'm
down.
gonna go. I'm gonna go by what you say. That's why I say, remember what you said, because I'm going by what you said.
This is a sick Negro.
So the thing that's so funny about this is this. I think you guys don't realize this is a crossroads fight for Shakur as well. Shakur hasn't looked good at 135. You really can't say a fight that he had at 135 where he looked any type of the way he did at 130. And I think when you got two guys that's desperate, it makes for a great fight. I mean, this
Well,
is go ahead.
no, I was gonna say I will admit this is the biggest fight that Shakur has been in. Every fight that Shakur has been in, he's
Mm-hmm.
been highly favored to win those fights. I mean,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
even the Williams of Pater, he was favored to win that fight. I think I forgot what the odds was, but he was favored to win that fight. So this is the only fight that is pretty much a 50-50 fight. So this is his biggest fight. Now, Loma and Josh Taylor was Tio's biggest fight, but I will admit this is Shakur's biggest fight.
Yeah, to date for sure.
Yeah, I'll say this, man. There's a lot of things we could talk about, but I always say this, man. Support the channel, man. Give us a like. Definitely give us a like, man. Put some color in the chat, man. This is what we're here for, man. Support the channel, man. That's what we guys that we're here for, man. So we only ask you guys to give us 5 super chats a show. We're trying to keep the lights on. So, man, definitely, if you in the building, smash the like button, man. Drop $1. It doesn't matter the amount. We just trying to make sure we grow and we grow together. So definitely show some love on that. And I also want to say this. Now, it's a lot of smoke and mirrors out here, right? But if you want to get your smoking here in the African area, man, make sure you stop by the smoke shop. They got some great things for your hashish, cannabis needs. So like I said, with all the smoke people got going on, you see fights over here, fights over there, man. Make sure you stop by the smoke shop, and that's on West Market, right by 330 House, right by the LeBron James headquarters. So make sure you stop over there. But let me ask you guys this, salute the answer, baby. I'll say this. The thing that's so crazy about this fight is that this card is loaded. You got Shakur, you got Keyshawn Davis. What you guys think about Keyshawn Davis going against Jermaine Ortiz? What do you guys think about that fight?
I like the fight. That's gonna be the best fight for Keyshawn. This would be his best opponent too, Free. I think Jermaine gonna give him some problems, but Jermaine gonna have to let his hands go if he don't. it's gonna be hard for him to win.
I'm not gonna say it could be. It is his best opponent. Both of these quote unquote active squad members are about to fight their best opponent today. I mean, Keyshawn hasn't been in there with nobody on the level of a Jermaine Ortiz, and Shakur hasn't been in there with nobody on the level of a Tio. So these are both these guys' best opponents to date. So both of these guys got to be on their A game. I think is more of a chance that Keyshawn lose than it is for Shakur because of the style of fighting that Keyshawn he he's a little more aggressive. Shakur is more defensive, and he makes you come at him. Keyshawn will go at Jermaine Ortiz, and Jermaine Ortiz got a hellified footwork. He can move around the ring, and he can make Keyshawn really have to work, and it can somewhat tie Keyshawn down in the later rounds if he's able to survive the early pressure that Keyshawn is going to put on him. If he could survive the early pressure, he could slow Keyshawn down in the later rounds, and Jermaine Ortiz can possibly outbox Keyshawn. I think Keyshawn will win the fight, but it's more of a chance of Jermaine Ortiz winning that fight than it is for Tio winning hit against Shakur.
Give me your thoughts on it, Price.
Yeah, say the question again.
Give me your thoughts on that fight.
What was your about what fight?
Jermaine Ortiz versus Keyshawn.
Yeah, I told you I went first, but I'll say it again. Like, this is Keyshawn's best opponent. My only thing I'm gonna need Jermaine to do is let his hands go. If Jermaine lets his hands go, then this could be a real good fight, or it could be a difficult fight for Keyshawn because I seen some interviews with him, and he was talking about his head wasn't in it. He wanted to quit. He was doing certain things and all this, that, and the third. But so he better be focused. I know that because Jermaine Ortiz can be good when he want to. But he another one. Sometimes you don't know what you're gonna get with Jermaine, bro.
Yeah, definitely make sure y'all go by my man Champ Ross's picks. I'm about to get some easy money over there, man. He definitely got his picks out. We still waiting on Champ Ross to be a channel member, man, to support the brothers. But like I said, go by his page, subscribe to his channel, man. The brother doing some fun stuff over there. We picking fights. BVO finished with 80 points, but it is what it is. I'll say this though. Going into what we see in boxing, we see a lot of things going on, and we see a lot of people getting hurt. And I would ask you guys this: when you see a guy like Moza Tume, who's already kind of giving a slow speech, does that kind of worry you guys to see that this man is only 21 years old and seeming to be suffering from like maybe a past brain injury from boxing? What would you say?
I ain't noticed that.
Have you know who Moza Tume, the heavyweight?
Yeah, the heavyweight boy.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard him talk.
Yeah, I heard him talk, but them fighters, man, I don't know. I ain't gonna say what I want to say.
What was the question again, BBO?
No,
I don't think nothing wrong with him though.
When you see Moza Tume starting to already speak kind of slower than when you originally heard him, does that kind of worry you about his future in boxing? Like maybe it might be cut short.
No, because he doesn't really get hit like that. So I don't think it's from boxing. He doesn't really take punches like that. He's a slick heavyweight fighter. He has great boxing ability for a heavyweight. So I don't think it's from him taking punches or anything like that, because he doesn't really get hit like that. So I think it just might be the way he talks.
Yeah, it could be that could be a situation too. I don't really pay attention. Like, he young, you know what I mean? I don't think he's brain damaged already.
I mean, the sparring is something that really gets you going, man. He been sparring big black niggas like Anthony Joshua, Lawrence Okoli, big scary dude like Tyson Fury, big gypsy nigga like Tyson Fury. These guys are huge, and when you're fighting these big niggas like that, I think a lot of times you don't realize that they take more punishment in the gym than they probably do fighting. What would you say, Coach?
Yeah, I say it's different as you get bigger in weight. Them guys punching, and then when the caliber sparring partners are what they are, at the level that he been sparring at, then they really can damage you. Not sure, because there's no definitive on it takes 20 punches, 2 punches, 1 punch. It's all in different individuals. We got fighters.
Yeah.
We got fighters who used to damn near get beat unconscious that don't have a sign of CTE on them at all. And then we got other fighters who was in one war and they talk like they've been in 1,000 wars. So, every situation is different. But I will say this: shout out to the companies like the company that Jalil works with, Hit and Move. Innovation has to come in the equipment that we use, because innovation can be something that helps keep some guys' careers longer or keep them safe after their career is over. Same way that football innovates helmets, then we got to innovate the boxing gear. So I always say shout out to Hit and Move for doing that.
Hey, Coach, do you think he eating right?
What you say?
Do you think he's eating right? Moses too.
Man, eating right ain't got nothing to do with that. Come on, somebody hit you in the head, somebody hit you in the stomach. Come on, man. Cut it out. The man getting money. The man getting money, he eating right.
No, the reason I say eating right is because if you guys are ever in the Acton area, man, definitely stop by the breakfast box. Make sure you get your breakfast dog. Make sure you get your shrimp and grits. We were just in the Taste of Akron, man. So definitely support the boxing. I mean, definitely support the breakfast box, man. They show a lot of love to BVO Sports TV, so I appreciate them. But the reason I said that about eating right is because I can honestly say this, man. I've been really watching what I eat and stuff again, and I can feel the difference. I'm saying sometimes when you're a young athlete, you kind of eat what you want. So I'm saying, do you think his diet might go into that at all or no?
Man, no. Nah, that man is eating proper. Man, you saying that like you still an active athlete. You're not an active athlete anymore.
No, I'm saying this in general. Go ahead.
You can't stop in generalizing an athlete versus a civilian. You can't generalize that. That's like asking me, do I generalize the eating habits of a Marine in boot camp and then a guy who just likes to play basketball on the weekend? No. Your body, it's been proven that your body will stop running at any level of performance if you put it in an endurance situation and then feed it garbage. Why you think you see them dudes that get into that first level of endurance stuff who been eating garbage? After 10 minutes, they stand on the side throwing up. I mean, that man getting money. That man, I don't care if it's only 3 months out of the year, and those are 3 months of getting ready for a fight. He's eating correctly because the body will rebel.
And I'll
You ain't got to
say
tell it.
Go ahead, my bad. Go ahead.
You don't have to tell the body to rebel. You all that mind over matter, willpower. When the body is not treated properly, it will shut down.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. You know the funny thing about this whole situation, and I ask you this, Free. When you see boxing overall, it's kind of exciting, and then I'm kind of worrisome because I don't know if you guys heard Canelo will be back Mexican Independence Day in September. The name of the card is Canelo versus the World. So what do you guys think? Do you think we finally get David Benavidez to grow a pair of nuts and come back and fight Canelo Alvarez? What would you guys say to that? Are you guys open to seeing that fight still?
I mean, the fans are definitely want to see the fight.
Yeah, I still watch this shit. Gotta put 20.
I mean, you got to remember the Mexican fan base. They don't care how beat up their favorite fighter is. They still want to watch them. They not like American fan base. They're gonna stand behind their guy till the wheels fall off. But to be honest with you, that's really the only fight out there for Canelo. I mean, yeah, he can get a Shiraz fight or whatever, have you. But the people really don't want to see that fight. They want to see him with David Benavidez. Before he retires, they want to see him with David Benavidez. And so, I mean, that's the only real fight that's out there for Canelo. Shiraz, I mean, he's an upcoming young fighter, but nobody's asking to see Shiraz and Canelo. they asked him to see David Benavidez and Canelo. David Benavidez said, "I will come down to 68 one last time to fight Canelo, but anybody else, no, they're gonna have to come up to 75 or cruiserweight, whatever division I'm at the time."
Yeah, what would you say, Coach?
Ain't no more luster on that shit. When Bud Crawford beat the top layer of platinum off of that bronze ring, that shit was a wrap. If the way he lost to Bud Crawford is any indication of what will happen against Benavidez, nobody wants to see it. I don't think. I'm a Canelo fan. I don't want to see Canelo as a supreme underdog, and I think it'd almost be a slap in the face to him after the career he's had. But if you put BVO and you put Bud Crawford together, they make one Benavidez. And if he couldn't beat either one of them, why do you think he could beat Benavidez or even make it competitive? And I still think the boxing powers in the boxing world is holding hope for the last fight we see big is the Canelo versus Crawford fight. So I wouldn't put him, I don't think they'll put him in there with Benavidez, because then that definitely eliminates the Crawford Canelo fight, part 2.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, when David Benavidez beat Boo Andrade, Canelo has always been the underdog of David Benavidez in my eyes. Once I see David Benavidez make Boo Andrade quit, I think, yeah, Canelo got no shot against David Benavidez. He ain't got no shot.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I think you and Coach are being unfair, because if he goes in there and beats the nigga, then what will you say? I just think
I would say I was wrong.
What I'm just basically saying is this: I think y'all forgetting who Canelo is. Canelo is a 5 division champion, fought the best, fought the brightest, and you can say he lost to Bud Crawford. But then, if you watch it again, you might say it was a closer fight than people thought it was. I mean, the card said it was a close fight. The judges said it was a close fight. I mean,
that fight was only close if you was. That fight was only close if you was watching.
What?
Go ahead, BVO. That fight was only close if you was watching it on the radio.
See, the thing that you don't understand, a Stone Cold Mac told me this, man. It's the right pair of shoes, but it might be the wrong size. And I think you don't understand that. Canelo's the right pair of shoes. I think Bud was the wrong size opponent. For one, he was too slick, too black. That shouldn't have been the fight. The fight should have been
that's the problem.
He should have fought. No, he should have fought in Beasley or Martinez, one of these young. He should have given the young guys a shot. That's what he should have did. But hey, he wants to be great. He went in there with a dude from 2 weight classes down, gave him an opportunity that he should have never gave him. And it is what it is. And now that's what Canelo got to live with. But we see the same thing when we see Sugar Ray Leonard give Duran a shot. Somebody got to give somebody a shot. And we know how Canelo get down. If you worth a shot, he coming to kick your ass. He just lost to one of the slickest, blackest fighters we ever seen. I mean, I think there's no shame in that, in my opinion. What do you guys say?
I'm not sticking on the Bud Crawford fight. Bud Crawford is just more skilled than Canelo Alvarez.
More skilled?
He's more skilled than Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah, way more skilled than me.
No, we're talking about Canelo.
No, Canelo only does one thing. He only does one thing. He comes forward. He swings big shots. He got no footwork. He got no lateral movements. What else does Canelo do?
If you think about Canelo, I think Canelo does a good job with his jab. I think Canelo does a good job of cutting off the ring. And on top of that, one thing that people don't give Canelo enough credit for, he's really good at sticking to the game plan. Because Eddie Reynoso doesn't make a lot of changes to his game plan. And Canelo still find a way to win.
I'm glad you said that, because if he does a great job of cutting the wig off, he couldn't cut the wig off on William Skull, and he didn't cut the wig off on Bud Crawford. So if he does a great job,
there's always one or two niggas that get away. We seen Margarito beat up Connor.
What I am saying is Bud Crawford is more skilled than Canelo. So Canelo cuts the ring off great, in your opinion. If he cuts the ring off great, that means Bud Crawford's footwork is that much better than him cutting the ring off, because he couldn't cut the ring off from Bud Crawford.
So now you saying Canelo got to be a dog catcher? Is that what I'm getting? So
no,
now you got to run niggas down?
No, because you want to add extra stuff to Canelo that he doesn't do. And all I said was Bud Crawford was more skilled than Canelo Alvarez. If anybody that watched boxing, most people would tell you that Bud Crawford is more skilled than Canelo Alvarez. They would say
now you saying that Bud. So now you saying Bud Crawford is more skilled than Floyd Mayweather?
I said Canelo Alvarez. I don't believe a C and an F sounds alike.
I'm just going off what you're saying, because you said he's more skilled.
You're not going off what I'm saying, because
if he's more skilled.
If you're going off of what I'm saying, you wouldn't have threw Floyd in there, because I didn't say Floyd. I say Canelo Alvarez. Bud is more skilled than Canelo Alvarez. You want to add Floyd to the equation. I ain't say nothing about Floyd.
I'm not trying to add Floyd. I think you're using Floyd as a red herring, but you're not realizing that Canelo fought him too. And I thought, if you look at the fight, Floyd beat him worse than Bud did. So I mean, you really can't say he's skilled. What?
If you look at the top 3 most skilled fighters that Canelo fought, in the opinions of boxing fans, he lost to all 3. Crawford, Mayweather, Long. All 3 of them beat him. And what did they all have in common? They all had a better skill set. That's not saying Canelo doesn't have a skill set. They just have a better skill set. That's what gives him trouble. Skill set. Bebo was the 4th best skill set he fought. What happened? He lost. Skill sets give him problems. If you want to sit there and dog with him, he has a more than better chance to do it. But if you skill set with him, then you have a chance of beating.
Yeah,
so let me ask you this, Rick, because I get what you're saying on that. Now I kind of get what you're saying. So you're basically saying that Floyd and Floyd and Laura have more skill than Bud. But you're saying that Canelo has a skill set.
Where are you getting that?
That was crazy.
No, nobody said that.
That was crazy.
We're not comparing them to Bud. We're comparing all 3 of them to Canelo Alvarez. You want us to compare the 3 guys that beat Canelo against each other. We're not comparing them against each other. We're comparing them to Canelo.
Man, I don't know why you getting upset. You know, BVO like
I gotta talk that way, because he tried to put this little twist and want to put people words for the people watching. So I gotta make sure they hear it clearly.
You know, BVO be zucchini pulling, man. He don't be pickle pulling. He be zucchini pulling.
And that's why I do this with BVO every time, so everybody that's watching, they can hear what I'm saying clearly. So they be like, "Nah, BVO, he got you on this one, dog. He wasn't saying that.
No, I'm going up. No, hold on. I'm going up what the nigga said, Bernard. That's the thing you missing. The nigga saying, okay, Floyd, Laura got a better skill set than Bud. So I'm saying, okay.
No, he did not say that. No, he did not say that.
Nobody said that.
Nobody said that. You need to stop. We said the 4 best skill set fighters he faced, he had the same trouble. Laura, Floyd, Bebo, and Crawford. The 4 best skill set guys. They had the best skill sets, and we got the same type of fight from all 4. Cut it out.
So let me ask you. So let me ask you this. We salute, man. We got my man Dub right side now. So what's going on, brother? Right side.
Man, salute BVO. Salute to everybody. Coach, Prize, D Free. Salute family. What's going on, man? I hit it.
Man, shout out to Renner Robbins, man. Shout out to Renner Robbins, man.
No, shout out to the nonsense. I see we got sombrero BVO up here tonight. So here we go.
No, you gonna have me back putting drops on your black ass, man. We're not trying to do that. But this is the thing. So this is the thing that Coach do and Free do. These niggas think they slick because they can talk better than me. What they trying to do is make it seem like I'm saying something I'm not saying. If you listen to what these guys just said, Bud, you said Bud, Floyd and Lara. You saying they got a skill set. So you saying their skill set is better than Canelo's, right? Well, I'm saying that their skill set, it can't be that their skill set is better than Canelo's because Canelo fought them all different. He fought them all different.
It doesn't matter if he fought them different for their skill set to still be better than him. He tried something different. He fought somebody that was a slick back fighter. He had problems with that, so he said, "I'm gonna try something different." That doesn't mean that he tried something different with each guy that their skill set wasn't better than his because he still lost for 3 of them.
So if we go off of that, I'm gonna bring you right in. Let me say this one thing. I'm gonna bring you right in. Go ahead.
What you basically saying is he trying shit, don't work, trying stuff, don't work. He can try whatever style he want to. It didn't work against none of them. So who cares what he tried?
No, you missed what him and Coach Bernard was saying. They were saying that Lara and Floyd have a better skill set than Bud. I'm saying if they do got a better skill set than him, it don't matter because he fought them all different.
First of all,
I never heard them say Bud though. I never heard them say Bud.
First of all, hold up, BVO. Let's be 100% clear. Because first of all, I was comparing Bud and Canelo. I said Bud is more skilled than Canelo. And you said, so you're trying to say Bud is more skilled than Floyd? I never brought nobody else up. I was comparing Bud and Canelo. Bernard came in and said the 3 guys that Canelo lost to, they all had a similar skill set, and their skill set was better than Canelo's. I never brought nobody else in this category except for Bud and Canelo. So you talking about we try to say that they were better than Bud? No, nobody comparing Bud to anybody. We only compare Canelo to these other guys.
Free. You and Bernard are from DC. I understand I can't beat y'all niggas in talk. I never tried to. That's what y'all trying to do. Y'all niggas trying to out-talk me. I'm going off what you said. Not trying to play these words. Y'all playing word games, man. But we'll move on because I don't want to get nobody in the audience confused. Go ahead.
Man, BVO, in the words of Rudy, you like school at 3 o'clock. You have no class.
Again, as my man Bernard said, once again, I can't beat the nigga he's cooler than me, so I can't beat him in a word game. He gonna beat me every time. That's what I'll say. What do you guys think about Tyson Fury saying he would love to make the fight with Fabio Worley, and Fabio Worley saying, hey, if you think you can beat me, let's make the fight today. Do you guys think that Tyson Fury can come back and beat Fabio Worley after being out of the ring about a year?
I don't know.
100%. 100%.
Probably so. Fabio Worley is not that great of a fighter. He's just a big puncher. He's not that great of a fighter, so he probably can beat him.
Last time I seen Tyson Fury, he looked a mess. He looked like Andre the Giant.
He was in there with somebody that looked better than both of them by the name of Usyk.
I'm not talking about inside the ring. I'm talking about outside the ring. He looked a mess.
Well, he's actually around my weight right now. He's trying to get down. Hey, shout out, man, to Miss BVO, man. I'm down another 7 pounds. But so I think the thing with Tyson Fury, what he's trying to do is get a belt, because I think when he fight AJ, I think that's gonna be massive, dog. We talking about that's probably the biggest fight in boxing.
They don't need a belt for that.
It's always nice. It's always nice, but something came out, and then when it came across my desk, I thought I would bring this up. What do you guys think about David Benavidez coming out and saying he doesn't like the reports that he's afraid of John Obertai? He never. Do you think the Mexican is playing games with his words, or do you think he's actually being serious about fighting John Obertai?
I need the link where you saw that at.
I'll send it over to you. But I'm just saying.
It's in his head. The link is in his head.
No, it's not.
I know that.
Every time. Yes, he did. Yes, he did, because he was talking about this Ramirez fight, and they asked him, they said, well, if you're going to fight Ramirez, why would Ja be next? He said he got other plans. He plans to go back to 175 and take care of some business with Turbiev and Bivol. Those are the exact words. He wants to take care of those guys.
he said Ja would be the last fight he fought. So
where-
that just
where
lets
did
you
he
know
say
how
he
much
was-
of a coward he is.
Where did he say he was scared at? Where did he say he was scared at?
He didn't say he was scared. I'm saying he was
That's what
scared.
you said he said.
No, he didn't say he was scared. He said people were saying that he's scared. He said he's not. He said that guy's on his list. So what I'm saying is this. Do you guys support a guy that's like making up lies and playing games about a fight that he should be taking next after this fight? Do you guys condone what David Benavidez is doing?
Man, you the only one be making
hold
up the stuff you make up.
That's not true, man. It's not true, brother.
Did we talk bad about Earl when he said I'm gonna fight this guy, and then I got Bud last? Did we talk bad about Earl when he said he did that and he followed exactly what he said he was gonna do?
Well, Bud fans talked about him like a dog.
I didn't ask you about Bud fans. I said, did we?
No, we didn't because we Earl Spence fans.
So
So
if you didn't do it against Earl when he said he was going to do that, why are you doing it against David Benavidez? He said the same exact thing.
It's just like Loma said, it's too many businessmen in box, so we need more fighters, not as many businessmen.
What Loma said. I said, why are you, if you didn't do it for one guy, why are you doing it now for another guy?
I just don't like how everybody's a doggone businessman when it comes to boxing. Now, everybody want to tell you about how the business should be, what they gotta have to make the fight. See, I don't get it. If people want to pay for the fight, go make the fight, man. You beating up Bivol, who's half dead, beating up a half dead Baturbiev, that does nothing for you. But if you go in there with a monster from the Pacific Islands, Australia's own Ja Obata, you got a chance to be #1 pound for pound.
Okay, then tell me what did Turkey off David Benavidez for that fight?
Say it again.
What did Turkey offer David Benavidez for Ja Obata?
I didn't hear him offer nothing. He's trying to make that Noel fight.
Okay,
The dude that just beat.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about then?
All I'm saying is we at least can hear the man say he want to fight the dude. I mean, dang, free. At least you can hear the guy say he want to fight the guy.
Once again, where did Ja say he wants David Benavidez next?
Ja said it's his division. He didn't say he wanted him next.
I didn't ask you what he said about his division. I said, where did he say he wanted David Benavidez?
See, you know what I realized, and this is funny. I want you guys in the audience to realize what's going on here. You got dudes that's being technical.
No, I'm just trying to figure
and that's what I mean when I say a lot of guys.
Why you don't have the same energy for Ja that you got for David Benavidez? David Benavidez said he wants to fight him. He got him on the list. Ja didn't say nothing about David Benavidez. But you got a lot.
Why the hell he got to be at the bottom of the list? Why he got to be at the bottom of the list, free? That's crazy.
Why is he not on Ja list at all?
Huh? Ja don't have a list.
At all?
Ja don't have a list. All he ever said, I want to be undisputed.
So,
He's never said no names.
I'm glad you said that. Since he don't got a list, then he can say, I want David Benavidez next. You ain't got to make me laugh. We can do it next.
I want to see the fight, man. Because when he beat the tacos off this nigga, man, you're gonna be sick, man. Everybody that go with the Mexican Pussycat, y'all gonna be sick. This dude is a fraud. This dude went to 175 because he took his ball and went home. He should have fought Canelo. Canelo should have did better at fighting. It just didn't make sense. Nobody penalizes Paul Williams for not fighting Floyd. And some fights don't happen. It just don't happen.
Man, you horrible.
But
you horrible,
that's how we get.
You horrible, man. You like an instigator in 7th period, man. You like an instigator in 7th period that knowing you got the tension.
How he David Benavidez, but he didn't say nothing to Canelo when Canelo did the exact same thing. The only difference is David Benavidez said he will fight Ja. Canelo said, nah, you got to pay me $200 million to fight him.
I mean, if it's $200 million he need, don't Brother Bernard get up here all the time and tell us about the business of boxing?
It wasn't $200 million.
You see how you do? You saw how you switch, but when Bernard up here every day telling us it's got to make sense money-wise, it's okay. But it didn't make sense for Canelo.
It do got to make sense. But you're not making sense.
So if it was 200 that he needed, why didn't he say I needed 200 before when he offered David Benavidez $5 million? David Benavidez said okay.
I don't know about that because I seen them offer Canelo $50 million to fight David Benavidez at one time. and it didn't get taken. So I don't
David
know.
Benavidez literally came out. There's an interview. David Benavidez literally said, "Canelo offered me a fight for $5 million," and I said, "I gotta take it. It's Canelo." They thought I wasn't going to take it.
Man, you don't get beat up by Benavidez for $50 million. Nah, that's a two. If you Canelo, that is a $200 million ass whooping. That's just fact about it. That's a $200 million ass whooping.
Canelo sent him a low ball offer, thought David Benavidez was going to say no. David Benavidez called his bluff and said, "Yeah, I still take it."
How is that a low ball offer? When they put David Benavidez on pay-per-view, he did 30,000 views on pay-per-view when he fought Bubba Andrade. Nobody knows this nigga, man. That's the part that get me with y'all, man. At least Prize, at least he would agree that no one knows who David Benavidez even is, bro. Like, come on, man. We gotta stop this, man.
On that again. We back on that. I thought
nobody knows who he is. That's what I'm trying to tell you, freak. No, we off of it. I'm just going because every time I say anything about him, Coach bring up the business. Nobody knows who David Benavidez is. That's the thing.
If you're not on it, why are you bringing it up?
I'm just building context for the people because you got to watch y'all slick DC dudes, man. Y'all change the narrative.
No. You don't need to bring up anything that you're not on because when you bring up something that you're not on, then you can't say nothing about the reaction that you get because you should have never brought it up. That's the same
way. I told you, man. I told you about him, Free. He is the dude that instigates in 7th period between two dudes to fight, knowing he got the tension. He gonna watch the fight from the window. He's not even gonna be out there. He instigating in 7th period, knowing he got the tension, and he gonna be watching the fight from the window.
Hey man, shout out to my man Just Dude, man. People don't know this about Just Dude, man. You know, but he was the first person to let me on his show and rock. And we gotta ask you this, Just Dude, man. What made you give BVO a chance, man, to rock with you first, bro?
I'm Just Dude for real. Everybody get their shot. Why not? Anybody that is about building on boxing is welcome to speak with me.
Hey man, shout out to my brother Just Dude, man. Just Dude was telling the story earlier. I be listening. Hey, he was telling the story about being close to people, and he talking about getting cut, and I'm like, shot in both legs. I'm like, my God, brother, I would have never guessed that with Just Dude. I would have never guessed it. Never would have guessed it. Shout out to my brother, man. Much love to you.
Shout out to Dub, man. What's good with it?
So just man, we got the best fighter in the world, Shakur Stevenson, man, going up against just Teofimo Lopez. When you think about Teo beating a monster like Shakur, how do you see that going down? How do you see the fight playing out better yet? No, I'm saying, how do you see the fight playing out? Because you got Teo fighting the best fighter in the world. What do you think?
I think they both fighting the best fighter. Either of them has fought. So I think they both gonna have, their work cut out for them. As good as Shakur may be, he's still gonna need to be on his A game because Teo is somebody that has the ability to show up when he in there with somebody that you expect him to lose to. The last time he was an underdog like this, or close to, I think he was 3-1 with Loma. It was like 3.5 to 1 with Shakur, so that's even a little more, but it could be deceiving. You know what I mean? They say men lie, women lie, numbers don't, but numbers don't always tell the whole story either. So this one of those fights where either one of these dudes could afford an off night. I think an off night could result into a loss. So maybe how it play out, Shakur trying to fill him out for the first few rounds. And I think once he feels as though he adjusts, that's when the fight starts. And he's really good at filling down. So
yeah.
Speaking of that, we didn't have coach, and I'm gonna let you go after this, though. We didn't have coach call Shakur Bobby Fischer, the great chess champion master. My thing is this: when we see a guy like Teo, who I always call him Hector Camacho, I feel like he one of those guys to where when he fights certain guys, he rises to the occasion. When he goes in there and beats Shakur, when people say, "Oh, Shakur ain't fought nobody," or would they give him full credit for beating the best fighter in the world? What would you say?
It's going to be some of both. It's going because there's already so many people that say Shakur overrated. So you're gonna hear some of both. You're gonna hear the irrational people push that narrative like he was overrated. See, I told you so. It's gonna be a I told you so moment for the haters. As far as the people that ain't hating or probably don't even have a dog in the race, even if they going for Tio, they gonna know that that's gonna be the best win on Tio resume. You know what I'm saying? Better than Loma, better than Josh Taylor because he's undefeated. You know what I mean? And I think in his prime, I don't think Taylor was in his absolute prime, and Loma at the same time as good as he was. Yeah, he was undefeated, but you know he shouldn't have been because we seen him get beat by Jack Kellerman, right? How you get outlanded? He got outlanded 11 rounds out of the 12 and dropped and still won. So I was like, yeah, that's ridiculous. But nonetheless, he just wasn't the absolute best version. So it was a great win, nonetheless. But I think Shakur is just more in his prime than Josh Taylor and even Loma. You know what I'm saying? Loma got beat already at that time. So, you know what I mean? So I think this would be the best win for him. So you're going to hear some of both, bro. You're going to hear people, I told you so. I told you Shakur wasn't that good, X, Y, and Z. And you're going to have some people that say, yo, Tio, you know what I mean, did his thing. And they're going to give him credit for beating one of the best fighters in the world.
Go ahead, Doug. I know you had a question for Just. Go ahead.
No, I got a question for the panel in general. As far as adjustments go, I think this fight, you know, boxing comes down to making adjustments. Just said something that I agree with. As far as he, you know, it's going to be filling out early rounds are filling out rounds normally, right? But it really comes down to who makes the best adjustments live. That's what boxing is. You know what I mean? The majority of the time. Sometimes you're just better than a guy. But a lot of times when you get to the championship level, it's about making those adjustments. Who do y'all think is the better adjustment individual in this fight? Shakur or Tio?
Shakur.
And why? And why, Coach?
Because Shakur and his grandfather together, since the amateurs, are like so in sync that they're working together is like putting two minds against one. And when you got that, that's an advantage. When you're looking at it from inside the eye of the storm, you see it one way. When you look at it from outside of the eye of the storm, you see it another way. When you get 1 minute to decipher what both of you all seen, then you come up with the most beautiful way to deal with it.
I think we got something extra when you see Freddie Roach, Manny Pacquiao getting us ready. I think the thing with Shakur is this. We've seen people like Shakur lose. This is going to be Tommy Hearns versus the Marvelous One. And all Tio got to do is figure out a way to keep his timing off. You don't let the slick nigga fighters come in there and do what they want to do. You got to upset his timing. You got to hit him in the hips a little bit. I think Tio, as he said it, you know, he's open to being dirty, which, you know, Coach laughed and said, he don't think Tio knows how to be dirty if he wanted to. But I think that's what you got to do with a guy like Shakur, because Shakur likes to be clean. And you can see pretty much all of his fights, except the best one we ever seen was the Willie Zepeda fight. And we heard him say he'll never fight like that again. Now, if he went into this fight like he did against Willie Zepeda, I would say Tio has no chance. And I'm a Tio fan. But when I heard the brother say that he'll never fight like that again, that lets me know he won't go into that bag and he won't take something to get something like he did with Willie, because he beat Willie up. If you watch that fight, yeah, Willie, people like to say, and the baby said it best, he almost got knocked out. But really, Willie was missing a lot of them punches. But
BVO, you're missing it, because William Zepeda, he fights a totally different style than Teofimo Lopez does. He's a come forward fighter. He throws a bunch of punches. Tio ain't no come forward fighter. He ain't gonna throw a bunch of punches. Tio want to counter off of what you throw. He want to utilize his athleticism. He don't like to be first. Hence the reason he struggled against Jermaine Taylor. Hence the reason he struggled against Sandor Martin. The thing, even when we talk about the Jermaine what's the brother from the Josh Taylor fight? When we talk about that, Josh Taylor's tailor-made. He's tailor-made for Tio. We knew that. When we seen the Josh Taylor versus Jack Catterall, when They robbed Jack Catterall in that situation, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Jack, I thought he put hands on the man. He's a come forward guy. That's what Jack. That's what he does, and that falls right into Tio game plan. Tio struggles with those guys that is gonna make him be first, and that's what Shakur is. If you struggle with Asando Martin and what's the brother that Jermaine Ortiz? If you struggle with them, they not half the damn boxer that Shakur is. Not. I mean, it's unless he go into that. Bill Haney said that Devin was gonna go into the tool shed against Senior, right? I mean against Junior, and Devin went into that damn tool shed and pulled some shit out. Well, unless they plan to go to the tool shed, that's what Tio gonna have to do, because we gonna have to see some stuff that you ain't showed us yet. That's what you gonna have to show in this fight. I think good man. Vegas got it right.
I've seen this fight before. You got a technician versus athlete. This is the same thing that happened in '94 when Roy Jones fought James Toney. Technicians are dangerous, but if you can give them enough movement, enough angles, I think Tio was uber athletic, and I think that's the key to victory. If he can disrupt Tio, and Tio can disrupt Shakur's timing. Only thing that worried me about Tio is this: Tio do way too much of that stupid shoulder roll at the wrong time. I think that'll be dangerous to do with Shakur, because Shakur is gonna get you with them pop shots. And one thing what Shakur does, he takes what you give him. So if you give him a bunch of them easy punches, he gonna just blow the points up on you.
In boxing, BVO, what beat timing? What beat timing in boxing?
Disruption, being awkward. I mean, I think it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Why I told you I think Lawrence Okoli beat Fabio Woolley, because he's big, awkward, and can fight. If you look at Tio, if Tio can focus on, I think Tio, this is what Tio should do in my opinion. Make sure you got an educated jab, be very rough, talk crazy, and say some of the most foul stuff you can think of out of your mouth to Shakur, because that stuff seems to affect him. You got to make sure that you're in there being as nasty as you can, mouth-wise. I'm just going off how it looked. I'm going off how I look from the outside in. You got a different perspective because you in there, but I'm just saying it seemed like he seemed disturbed when the dude was talking about taking his man, joking. He seemed pretty disturbed by that. But go ahead.
It's only one way that
weird.
There's only one way Tio can win this fight. There's only one way.
Only one way.
No. Realistically, Tio has to come out. And you can only do this if you've been preparing for it in camp. You have to come out and you have to definitively win the first 5 rounds. Take a break in round 6, make it an even round, and then win round 7, and make it where Shakur and his team know we are behind. Because if you not need a knockout, you don't need a bit of that. You need to make them know that we are behind. To where we have to win every single round.
Now we got a press.
Yes, and now you take him out of the element of counter punching, and you make him have to be the attacker, which that is not one of his biggest strong suits. That's the only way.
Hold on, coach. But for you to do that, you got to know how to attack. And
no. Nah. Hey, listen. You can't know how to attack Shakur, because he's Bobby Fischer. Every time you say you got to know how to attack, you got to know how to do this. Now, listen what I'm saying. You're playing in the Shakur hands, because that requires you to think. You have to be willing to be reckless. Shakur is not a knockout puncher, so you have to be willing to be reckless to guarantee that you win those rounds. You have to do it, because if you try to think with him at any point in time,
we are agreeing. Me and you are agreeing. And so, but the question has to come. We're talking about Teofimo Lopez, an individual who struggles. We've always seen him struggle to be first. If you're going to be aggressive, you can't feint your way to being first a lot of times against somebody
you're right. If he comes out, same thing I said with the Brian Norman fight. If he come out and he attempts to box off the break, turn the TV off. You already know what's going to happen for the rest of the fight.
It's easy work.
TV off. That's a fact. That's a fact. You got You gotta really, and I don't know if people realize this, it has to be how the Marvelous One did Hearns. You gotta attack him. You can't box him, you gotta fight him. That's why I said it's very important that Teo says the foulest stuff he can say out his mouth, because mental warfare works as well. People say what they want. When people saying foul stuff out their mouth, it definitely throws you off. If you remember when Josh Taylor was fighting,
so you saying say the foul stuff to make him want to fight you?
Yeah, you gotta get him mad, make him want to fight you. Because one thing about
that won't work.
That don't work.
That won't work.
It works.
That
It
won't
works
work.
more than you guys think.
That won't work.
It works more than you guys think.
It's crazy. Me and Coach both at the same time said
that won't work.
You say that, but when Muhammad Ali fought Ernie Terrell, he didn't start pressing the gas. Ernie Terrell was talking crazy to him. That's what I mean when I say that.
No,
if you think about it, go ahead.
Listen to this. Once again, you're saying that you have to get under Shakur's skin. You can't get under Shakur's skin if Shakur is listening to his grandfather. And we've never seen him not listen to his grandfather. You can't rattle Wale. You cannot rattle his grandfather. If you say, Wale, your breath stink and your feet stink, he gonna say, give me some mouthwash and a pair of socks. He's not gonna feed into it. He's not gonna feed into it because he understands the stage that we're on. And then you gotta remember, he has a better chance of playing Teofimo against himself than Teofimo has of playing Shakur against himself. And let me tell you why. They both share one thing in common that will only hurt Teofimo in this fight. They both have boxing pedigrees. They're both Olympic pedigree guys. So their first instinct is always to box and counter punch. So it's going to be harder for Teo to come out of his natural element and do what's unusual. But all Shakur has to do is just stay in his natural
element. He just be himself.
Yeah.
That's the fact.
Yeah.
And I apologize for cutting you off, Coach. Just to add on, though, if we look at the corners here, I think we would all agree with Wally Moses, respectfully, and then Teo Sr. I think that we would all agree.
He's going to have Freddie Roach in the corner this time, supposedly.
Okay, that's fine. Freddie, hey, did you get an interview with Freddie?
Shout out to Shake him up. I hope I get one soon, though. I hope I get one soon.
Salute to Shake him up, Freddie, man. We ain't got no problem with it. Hey, shout out to
that was crazy.
But,
hey, remember they were shaking like Freddie was there, bro. You know, you remember that just when they was Harlem shaking like this was Freddie?
All those things. But okay, that's cool. But at the end of the day, man, I'm just saying, I think even if Freddie Roach is in the corner, this is going to be the first time that he's worked with Freddie Roach and not having his dad as the main person in his ear. That changes dynamics as far as how I listen to a coach, how much trust I have in him, all of that. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to talk about the Brian Norman Jr. situation as well if we get opportunity, but I think that we.
Hey, you right.
Last point, Coach. I think we have to give the coaching aspect to Wale Moses in this situation. I think that should
got the better Freddie team. Roach.
Hey, you right. You right. And I'm gonna tell you why you right. David Ruffin was a great singer, but he could have never been part of the Jackson 5. It wouldn't have never fit. It wouldn't have never fit. Freddie Roach being there and Teofimo's dad not being there, I would never work with Freddie Roach or any other coach if it's the first time and I'm going up against a guy that's one of the best fighters of his generation. That's handicapping yourself. That don't make sense to handicap yourself.
The dude who came from Eddie Futch, how was that a handicap? The dude seen it all.
Because
he fought Floyd already.
He doesn't know you on a personal level. He knows what he's seen you do on a boxing level. It takes 2 or 3 fights to actually instill a new acclamation point and a level of trust in a new coach. It's not something you just say, hey, if that's the case, I'm gonna get Floyd Mayweather Sr., Emmanuel Stewart, and Lou Duva, and they gonna coach everybody who they get in the corner to be the greatest fighter ever. It doesn't work like that.
Exactly. And coach, I want your opinion. I want to ask you this. So I done coach my son in soccer and stuff like that, right? I don't know enough about soccer to be a head coach of anything, but I can tell when my son, he doing something. I know how to motivate him just by knowing him much better than his coaches can motivate him, right? So if I say you should be running, he knows exactly what that means. If they say, if I said to any of the other kids out there, they don't know, they don't have a clue. But I had that relationship. I think it's the same thing with children, boxing wise. There are times where Freddie Roach may have the better concepts than what Teo Senior will have. The problem is Teo Senior has Teo Junior's ear, and to have a fighter's ear means. Hell, that's 90% of the damn fight. Getting them to understand exactly what's going on and what you're trying to get them to do, that's 90% of this shit. And
you telling me the dude that bought Manny Pacquiao up. What the hell are you talking about?
Hey,
BVO. You know how many fights? Do you know how many fights he worked with Manny Pacquiao before Manny Pacquiao was a champion?
BVO, let me ask you this question.
Let me just say before you ask me this, let me say this. We seen Devin have Virgil Hunter come help him. We seen Devin have.
And guess who was the main individual in the corner? Bill was.
This nigga looked like baby Andre Ward in last fight. You can tell that was Virgil that did that.
It don't matter. Regardless of who.
What you got on this, Jeff, man? You quiet over there, man. I know you quiet a long show.
Bill was the one who had the voice. That's who Devin listened to. He listened to Bill.
What you saying about
BVO?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, BVO, you a football player, BVO. And let me ask you a question. No. If you a football player, and let's just say George Seifert is your coach, and y'all have had a season where you had one loss and you get to the Super Bowl. 2 days before the Super Bowl, George Seifert has a heart attack, and you were favored by 3 to win the Super Bowl. Do the odds change when George Seifert has a heart attack? When they know he's not going to coach on the sideline on the Super Bowl night and it's less than 30 hours away,
Absolutely.
Do the odds make?
Absolutely.
Okay, you answered my question. Thank you.
That was your boy Skid to answer.
Even the Ole Miss beat Georgia, right? The odds changed when Lane Kiffin went to LSU. The odds changed in that game. Off of him leaving. It is what it is. They still won now.
I think it's gonna be a hell of a chess match. And I just think, really, to be honest with you, man, this is the kind of stuff. Like, I remember when I got on the YouTube 3 years ago, man, I didn't even know a fight like this could even happen. I think this fight is being super under promoted because, really, to say the truth, you know, other than Teo talking crazy out of his mouth, he lives a pretty quiet life. Same thing with Shakur. I think they both, to me, as far as what the fans will say, are at crossroads. They both haven't looked spectacular. Teo at 40, I would say Shakur at 35. Neither one of them had looked, because you ask me, they both made their names in their previous weight divisions. Shakur looked like he was one of the baddest niggas in the world at 130. And I thought Teo looked like he was one of the baddest dudes at 135. So I think really this fight, especially for these two, will be a way for them to cannibalize each other and for boxing to get a new start. What do you guys think about this? Will this be a chance, win, lose, or draw, for boxing to get a new start from this fight? What do you guys say?
We think you out of order.
I agree with him. I don't think so.
You don't think he out of order?
No. I agree with you. I think he's out of order on that one. I just don't see it.
And so let me ask, what's wrong with the blacks?
See how they do it. Now we're black.
Go ahead, Joe. What you think, Just? You think this is a good cannibal fight where they got to each kind of cannibalize each other so we can get a star?
That star thing is tricky, man. But I think the focus needs to just be the win, right? And let that other stuff take care of itself, right? You can't. I mean, I don't think either guy becomes a star per se after the fight, but I think they could move to that next level in their careers respectfully, right? If you want either or is to get a win, but tough to be a star in today's boxing. You know what I'm saying? That's, the people decide that. But again, I think the focus should just be to continue to win. I like what Shakur's attempting to do. He's going to be in rare company if he could be a damn 4-division champion. Especially with 25 fights or 28 is very impressive. So he got a huge opportunity on his hands. I'm excited to see it because he's typically a guy, if he asks for a fight, if it's something that he wanted, he's going to show up. And that's what I expect to see. And he's shown the ability to be on point too. So I want to see.
I think they missed the boat on star. I think they both missed the boat on being stars. I think they're good fighters. I think they have that they do have a level of appeal that's better than average. But I think they both missed the boat on becoming stars. And the reason I say they missed the boat on becoming stars, because they lingered around too much, hoping, wishing, and praying to get a Tank Davis fight. They should have fought years ago. Both of them should have fought at least 2 years ago. But they hung up. I think every fighter from their generation that didn't become a star, who was a small guy, they waited around too long to get a Tank Davis fight. And now they let their time to become stars move by, because boxing is changing and they're ready to change the guard. The next set of stars will come from the Xander Zayases, the Abdullah Masons, the people like my son. Those next set of stars are getting ready to step in the door, because the generation after them, what's coming up in 2028? What's going to happen in 2028?
Yeah.
The Olympics.
And when the Olympics happen, the guys who were on deck have to take center stage, because the Olympics is the keynote changing of the guard time. And when that happens, all of those guys who should have took their step up fights, even guys that I like, I think Virgil and Boots were two of the best young guys who were up next. But I think letting stuff marinate is going to make it where they never get the star time, because the fans have moved on to the next one. If you ask fans who they would like to see, I think if you gave them an option to see Teo versus Shakur, or see Abdullah Mason versus Keyshawn, they would have took the Abdullah Mason versus Keyshawn over Shakur versus Teofimo, because it's just changing.
I would say, you know what? I think the thing that people got to remember about boxing is boxing goes and ebbs and flows. I think Bud Crawford's probably going to be there, right? So that's the dude who just became undisputed at 168. I'm sure Clarissa Shields will be there. I think if Teal's able to go in here and beat this monster, I think this will be the first time you've seen in a long time, probably since Roy Jones, where you see a guy have 3 keynote wins in their prime on the pound for pound list. I mean, people say what they want. Hold on, let me finish. I think with Shakur is this. Say what you want, the nigga's pound for pound. If Teal, this is the thing, Teal has to come into the mindset with this fight. I'm willing to do anything to get this win. And I think he got to really focus. And when you focus like he's been, and from what I'm hearing, he's focused as hell. And you know, shout out to Uncle Rich for letting us get some information. Teal was really ready to prove the world wrong. And if he can do that with Shakur, a big mouth like that, who said, if I get cheated, I'ma quit. I don't think, and I don't know him. So, but the way you hear Shakur talk, a loss was devastating. I think you might see him cry in the ring if he loses to Teal. We've seen him cry when he lost the Olympic title. So I think those type of things are all things that are culminate to making a star. Just like a bunch of people, you know, at my job said, who is this big black dude from the UK that's fighting Jake Paul? These people just now finding out who AJ was from that Jake Paul fight. This fight to me has enough skill and enough skin in the game where we can really see something special happen from this fight. And I'm telling you, that's why you hear me bigging up Shakur, because when he get beat, I don't want nobody disrespecting him. I don't want nobody to forget what he did at 130. I want to remember this is the guy that y'all said is the one, because they both ain't gonna fight their rivals. Shakur probably won't fight Tank, and I don't know, but I doubt that Teo fights them. So without that rivalry fights from their rivals, this is the next best thing, and I think Teo got to go in there and step on this kid.
Man, this gonna be a snooze fest. This gonna be a snooze fest. This thing gonna put you to sleep. This thing gonna put you to sleep worse than Trinidad De La Hoya. This shit gonna put you to sleep. This don't have no build up. There's no potential for a knockout at all. This has the potential to have a long line of the concession stands by round one. This fight is not gonna be legendary. It's gonna be an excellent boxing match, but we're in the era of fans who want to see knockouts. They didn't come there to watch 12 rounds of beautiful boxing, some holding and dancing around the ring. And that's what this fight is gonna be. Both of them are pound for pound guys right now, but pound for pound don't make you a star. That doesn't make you a star. I just don't see what this fight is gonna do.
You don't think Teo getting a brand new gold ring magazine gonna add to that luster? What you think, Jeff?
I mean, what you mean as far as the star situation?
Either way, like if Shakur get that brand new ring magazine gold belt they're giving out, you don't think that for either one of them guys would be huge? Because I feel like Bud's Stockton went up huge.
I mean,
from being with Teo. I mean, for being with Turkey.
Again, Shakur be a 4-division champion, former unified champion, so it'll be a great accomplishment. But again, like that star word, that's tricky. Like, that just can't be the focal point for either one of them. Like, that shit got to take care of itself. They got to focus on what they can control, and that's how you go out there and perform. I mean, Cora, they're talking with a lot of confidence, and I want to see them fight that way. You know what I mean? Be your smart, regular self, but I want to see you. It's for the people that don't think you could put on a hell of a performance. I want to see you prove that you can. I mean, keep doing you. You know what I mean? It's going to be the most accomplished and best guy to date. You got to step on them, just like you're saying. That's what the mindset for both of these guys got to be, to try to make a mistake. You know what I'm saying? Stay within themselves while they do it. So we're going to see. But I think it'll be a great fight, man, for what it's worth. And the winner go on to do some more things. I think the loser, not a bad thing, right? Teo ain't no bad fighter. You know what I mean? Obviously, neither is Shakur. So we're going to see. We're going to see who won it.
If both of them just be themselves, Coach, I'm asking you this. If both of them just be themselves, and we get the expected boring fight, because both of them are boring, then where do they go from here? Because and that's part of why I said I think they missed the boat on their star power, because they should have both fought Devin. Right now, I think Devin is too big for either one of them to beat. And if that's the case, Keyshawn, if Shakur already said he's not fighting Keyshawn, so if Shakur wins, that takes the only other big fight off the shelf is the Keyshawn fight. If Teofimo wins, Teofimo's not going to go up and beat Devin. So tell me where you think they go from here.
This is the beautiful thing, Coach. I'm glad you said what you just said. 2 years ago, we were clamoring for all these guys to fight each other, right? This was the hot topic. Now, like you just said, Devin got to 47, champion there, probably too big. Shakur said he want to wait a weight clause on him. Respectfully, okay. Maybe Keyshawn go up there and fight him. Maybe, I don't know. Teofimo Lopez, he seemed to be very comfortable at 140, although he not fighting the best. I'm going to tell you where to put him at, Coach. And this is the problem. We coming around your way right here, Coach. You ready? We got a brother out there named Gary Antoine Russell that's stalking and walking around at 140. That's who we got. And now, the winner of this fight, right? Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson. I don't want to see Shakur go back down to 35. No, stay at 40. get the smoke. And Antoine Russell needs to be the next name on any of these guys' list. It seemed like don't nobody want no smoke with him. That's what it seemed like. And so let's get Antoine into the. Let's get some unifications going. Richardson, Africa Hitchens, he been out here talking crazy. He talking about going up to 47. Well, unify 40, man. Unify.
Man, Antoine will beat shit down both of their legs. If you put 8-ounce gloves on Antoine against Teo or against Shakur, he'll beat shit down their legs.
Or Africa.
No, let me tell you something about the Africa situation. Africa has little boyed himself so many times against people like he just did against Subriel Matisse. He's never going to be a star. He can just hope to stay a champion and hope to get a couple of paydays. But star for him has been out the window a long time ago. He's little boyed himself too many times. And with Subriel Matisse losing the way he did, and he openly said he wasn't fighting Subriel Matisse, he's out the races.
He's out the race.
Hold on.
What you saying, Jeff? What'd you say, Jeff? Go ahead, Jeff. What are you saying? You said something about.
I said something about what?
You said something about the Russell versus Shakur.
Oh yeah, shit. He had to show me. I ain't giving nobody no win. I've seen him lose to a boxer already. I just need to see. It'll be all about how Shakur adjusts to this 140-pound weight division. He looked from the looks and what I'm saying, he looked like he acclimating as well as one could with just having a training camp to do so. So it's all about performing. And we're gonna get some answers, man, because he ain't never fought there. So I want to see what he look like. How he able to perform, but again, man, that dude is really talented. It's gonna take a special performance and person, I think, to beat him. And we're gonna find out if that's Teo on the 31st, or if it's gonna have to be a guy like a Gary Antoine. But as far as again, I don't know, man, because if you can't get the big fights or the necessary fights down there at 35, shit, you might need to stay put. So I'm with seeing any of this. I want to see him challenge himself. He want to be the best. You know, I'm a big supporter of his. I want to see him challenge himself. I'm not one of the type of supporters where I'm like, I'm scared to see. Nah, let's see. I want to see just how far you can push. I want to see how good you can be. That's the beauty of this sport, man. You get the opportunity to stand on that shit that you talk. And, you know, from what I know personally, man, he want to prove it. He want to be great. And sometimes, you know, man, sometimes, all the time, you want to be great. You got to make the necessary fights. You got to fight those guys, like Coach said, man. He feel like, you know, Gary Antoine to beat shit down his leg. Hey, man, you might have to fight one of them guys and prove otherwise. You get what I'm saying? You got to prove it. You're in a position to do so. So especially if you win, you get to decide if you want to stay put. And we know who the champions are. We know who the dogs are. Gary is one of them. He is. Shit, I would love to see if he stay put. We'll see.
All I say is this, man. You know, shout out to my man Just coming through. I appreciate you, man. You know, I always say that's Johnny Cross, not man McMahon. But I say this, man. No matter how you put it, man. I've seen Pulo whoop Gary's ass. So I can't take it out my head, man. Until you fight another boxer, I mean, he got his ass laced by Puyo. So it's what it is, man. We want to play this game like we didn't see that fight. We can play peekaboo, but I seen Gary. The thing that people don't realize, the only reason we all excited about Gary Antoine is because what we seen versus El Rayo, and El Rayo has got his ass beat by Chris Cobo before. So we gotta kind of put some water on this, man. This Gary Antoine thing, because he's great, but when he fought a boxer, he got his ass whipped.
No, I don't. My thing ain't judging him off the El Rayo fight. Matter of fact, it's judging him off the Puyo fight. I think that this is just my opinion. I think he learned a lot from that fight. I think he's gotten a lot better since.
Oh yeah, he has for sure.
And so and you know, I thought it was a close fight, but I thought he lost the fight. You know what I'm saying? I thought he allowed Puyo to control the distance the majority of it. He smothered his work a lot of that time. But at the same time, I done seen the man get better. I done seen him stop smothering himself. And hey, man, just over one fight.
Back on the Teo plane. Because that fight, BVO said Gary didn't lose that fight. He only said that because he's back on the T.O. train.
Get him deep,
When that, I was the only one. I was the only one that said Gray lost that fight. I said Gray lost that fight because he didn't follow the game plan. BVO paused. Mikey Dan said, "Oh, you being too hard on him."
Hold on, wait a minute. I said he lost weight.
No, I was the only one that said why he lost, and they were like, "No, you being too hard on him. I think he won the fight. I think they took it from him." I was like, "No, he got away from the game plan." And then months later, Antoine came out and said the exact same thing that I said.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that, but shout out to the Puerto Rican, man. I don't remember none of that, but shout out to the Puerto Rican, man. We got D Free on here, man, because the Puerto Rican gonna bring up some obscure stats. We weren't even thinking about that. Hey, just you ain't gotta bash your company, man. It's like when your grandpa come out of the
turn that background music on.
You said what?
The background music.
I thought that was your jam, man.
Them Russells is dogs, man. And I love Gary, man. He gonna get anybody hell in the ring, no matter who he fight. He got a good fight coming up with Andy Hiroka. That's a damn good solid fight for him. I think he's gonna do his thing, man. If he get the opportunity, he's gonna give people hell. And I was listening to an interview and his brother said they definitely want that Puello rematch. That was a good fight. I don't think he got his ass whooped. I just think he got, outpointed. You know what I mean? It was a lesson for him. And that's one of those fights where you 100% gonna go back to the drawing board and learn from. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he boxed Ryo. That shit is beautiful.
Hey, I mean,
don't bias though. You very biased about this.
But you saw what happened that fight after Pulo, because he had a fight before he fought El Rayo. He got that man out of there in 2 rounds.
He's a dog, man. If you can't keep up with him, he's gonna eliminate.
From getting their ass kicked, Free. I don't know why. That's all I'm saying. People get better from getting their ass kicked. That's just kind of how it works in boxing.
It wasn't that bad, BB. Stop exaggerating. It wasn't.
I'm not exaggerating. It was a little lesson, man.
It was a close fight that the other guy won, and it's good that he got his loss early.
You was up in arms with Suburban Teal's Raul Pulo. So what are you talking about, man? You was pissed when Suburban Teal Raul Pulo. Come on, don't do that, Pride. It's me, man. Don't do that, man. Don't go on a Puerto Rican train with
I just said I thought I didn't go crazy. I just said I thought Puyo won the fight.
Right.
That's it.
Hey, he's a pretty dang good boxer too, man. I like him.
Yeah, he is nice. Any Cuban or something?
He's smart. He's smart and he can box. I think he might be Dominican now. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he like one of them dudes that you will see at the store, man, that'll fry you up a good sandwich, man. So shout out to Pulo.
But it's not a fight that Gary can't win. You know what I'm saying? Make some adjustments. He was just getting countered real good in that fight, more than I've ever seen him. And he just looked a bit off. And like D Free said, maybe that's why, because he went away from the game plan. But you live and you learn, man. They got that pedigree. You know they come from a boxing family. Go back to the drawing board, no whining, no crying, and you see how he been the last couple of fights, how he looking. And I know everybody can't wait to see him against him. I can't wait to see it. Glad he's champion. He proved people wrong.
Let me ask you this, Just, man. How good is Gary Jr. doing as a trainer, in your opinion?
I think he's doing a hell of a job. Man, he got to be proud, man. He do. They took that loss together and they got that shit right together. Seeing them win was one of the most underrated boxing moments, low key. And the way it happened, they took a loss initially, right? Boom. And he got that opportunity and people started whining because he took a loss and got another opportunity. But I always, pointed out that you see how he made the most of it. He showed you why he deserved another opportunity. He beat that man handed. He whooped Ryo ass, bro. He whooped his ass.
Yeah, he did.
Sky's the limit. So Gary, he got a lot of flack. While he can't be a part-time trainer, man, shut up. This shit ain't easy, man. This shit is not easy. You're gonna take losses. It's how you bounce back. Yeah, I could see it lost, but I was waiting for the bounce back, and I knew it was gonna be like this. And I'm glad that dude right where he needed to be. Champion, and he holding it down, bro. Sky's the limit for Gary, bro. He got the style,
Yeah.
the temperament, the attitude, the chin, the athleticism. And he got that pedigree with him too. So Quello had to work for that shit. Trust me, he had to work for that.
I ain't gonna lie, man. My dream scenario is to see Gary Jr. training Teo full time. That's my dream scenario, man. I think that'll be awesome for Teo if he can get Gary Jr. to train him full time, because I always been a fan. Yeah, I think if Teo could get with a guy who can really teach him some of that stuff about being slick, because he does well. But I honestly say this: you can tell that he got some things that he's missing. And I think his dad has done a hell of a job, leading him to being unified, 2-time Ring Magazine. But I feel like sometimes his dad gives really bullshit instructions. You know what I mean? I think that's just no good. But on that note, man, make sure you follow my man. I call him Johnny Carlson, man. My man, Just Do. Hey, give us something good before we get out of here, Coach. Give us something before we get out of here, man. Coach,
What'd you say?
I said, give us something good before we get out of here, man. I said, give us something good before we get out of here.
Look forward to all the good fights. Hope you can watch them with some people that know boxing. But if you can't watch them with people who know boxing, if you got a son, a nephew, or a young daughter, use that as an opportunity to do something that you all can do together and enjoy the sport.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, on that note, man, we can't wait to see Tia get in there with the greatest fighter in the world, one of the slickest, blackest fighters out there. And guess what? Shakur's next, man. On that note, man, always, man, do what you can to take care of your family, but take the kids, as my man Prize always say. And we gone, y'all. Peace.